Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful 4th of January, 2022. Happy New Year out there to all the Crusty Canuck followers and friends alike. This episode, More Fear for Another Year, episode 160. Please stick around. Listener and viewer discretion is advised. See you in a bit.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast, a Canadian veteran's point of view on political, social, economic issues and life. Here's Crusty.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. A beautiful 4th of January, not July. 2022 coming at you from beautiful Alberta, Canada. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. Yes, pardon the headwear today. I figured I'd try something different. So happy New Year to everybody out there. Merry Christmas, belated, all that good stuff. I hope your dreams came true. Your wishes came true nonetheless. But based on the mainstream media and based on what's going on in the world today, it seems like the ever lurking evil
Omicron variant
is taking its toll once again, based on the sheer panic and based on the ridiculous mandates that have been brought to you by the Ontario governments, Quebec governments, federal government, and maybe the Alberta government. We do not know just as of yet. Knock on wood, but we'll see. So more fear and panic that lies ahead. So the past few days, I've been off with my wife. Had a wonderful New Year's, just chilled out, relaxed. Watched, binge watched the whole 4th season of Cobra Kai. I thought it was pretty cool. It's cheesy as hell. I think the writers intentionally did that. But needless to say, it's a great fun show for the whole family, if you can tolerate the odd swear word. But that's what I did New Year's Eve. Had a couple drinks. I don't drink anywhere like I used to, ladies and gentlemen, but I had a couple of drinks because I worked my ass off this past week, and I figured I deserved it. So a couple of cocktails, sit with my loving wife, and we watched Cobra Kai, had a good laugh, and then just relaxed the past few days. So I would have had an episode up earlier and sooner, but I just wanted to turn off the old digital thing for a bit. Anyway, carrying on with the whole 2022, another year of fear. So it doesn't look too promising. Now, I know I wished during my Christmas episode, good tidings and all that stuff and how we can do better. But it seems like every time we turn around, there's always a different mandate that's going to linger and finger wag us into more fear, into more compliance, as always. Now, there's lots of talk out there now, too, with more people getting the third jab, getting a third shot, the booster, they like to say. I myself, I am not going to, for the sheer principle of it all. Now, I will admit, some of my fans out there, I know I said back in the summer that I will not get the jab. It's your own personal choice. And I said that in my campaign when running with the Veterans Coalition Party, and I still mean that. It is your choice if you want to or not. I got the two doses, back in October, September and October. I did it for my wife, and I did it for my father. My father's in his 70s. He's getting up there. My stepmother, she's in her 70s too. She's getting up there as well. And my wife has a condition I'm not going to say here online, but needless to say, I did it for them. As much as I disagreed with it, and as much as I did not really want to do it for the sake of being told to do it, I did it for them, for peace of mind, and for their health, and for my health too. Now, this third shot they keep talking about, I'm not going to do it. And neither should you. I'm going to recommend, you, my listeners and viewers out there alike, I recommend that you don't. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your body. I'm not going to tell you how to think and what to do and how to wipe and how to pick your nose and how to kiss your loved ones. You as an individual, as far as I'm concerned, have the right to say yay or nay to it under any circumstance. Now, we've seen the mainstream media, how a lot of these medical professionals, these cubicle know-it-alls, and I'm not questioning the science, but I'm going to question the integrity. telling everybody that we must do this, we must do that because hospitals are going to be overwhelmed. They did not say the same thing with the first wave, second wave, third wave, the Delta wave, the Delta variant. Now they're emphasizing it even more. So what gets me is that they're trying to tell people to get these vaccine passports, to get this, to get that. Make sure your papers in order, your word, right? Make sure you do it this way and that way. And that way you can have access to these certain establishments to sit and have a drinky pool or have a nice steak dinner or have your cheeseburger, whatever. But now they're closing all these establishments. So that puts things in perspective, ladies and gentlemen, to say the least. So when they're telling you that you should get the jabs and then get it documented on your phone or have your papers with you to prove that you've had it, where the fuck are you allowed to go? Where are you allowed to go then if that's the case? Oh, we're only going to shut everything down till the 17th or to the 25th or whatever date they come up with. In la belle province de Quebec, you cannot walk your dog now because of curfews, because I guess the whole pandemic has a nasty habit of getting you after 8 o'clock. Just like the whole mandate was you can't be drinking in a bar after 10 o'clock because at 9:55 you're good to go. But if you're out in the street at 10:05, oh shit, it's game over. I don't know. I'm just not really impressed with all this. So it seems like everything's being regurgitated again from what a year ago was, where more stores are being locked up and then stores being threatened again with fines if they're being opened, or more pastors being arrested like Mr. Pelosi. And I'll leave some links to use all there from Rebel Media in regards to what Mr. Arthur Pelosi had to go through again. Correct me, sir, if I'm mispronouncing your name. We had a lovely talk on the Crusty Canuck live stream there a few months back. So if you want to check out my live streams in the episode there, right, a good talk with Arthur in regards to freedom and democracy and his belief and how he helps people out. And I will stand by any individual. I don't care if you're Christian, if you're Muslim, if you're Jewish, Buddhist. I don't care if you slap monkeys and praise lemon gods. As far as I'm concerned, this country, you have the right to practice your faith, to preach your faith, preach your gospel, regardless. As long as you're not hurting people taking their stuff, we are good to go, as far as I'm concerned. I don't believe in a higher power. That's just my perspective, ladies and gentlemen. You believe in what you want to. That is your given right, as far as I'm concerned. Whatever governing body is looming in the heavens or anywhere around us, in a spiritual sense or whatever, that is your right. And after seeing some of the footage that Mr. Pelosi went through yet again, it just seems that the authorities are just being bullies. They're not looking after your health or my health or their health or them health. They're looking after their own mandates, and they want to try to save face in the midst of their projected BS. So something to think about there, eh? Basically, all it is, ladies and gentlemen, is just a big shit show. That's all.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And furthermore, other than just being a shit show, it's more control. Now, we are starting to see a little more of people coming out of the cracks and coming through the molds and standing up and saying no to this and no to that, which is great, And to the parents out there that are frustrated, especially my Ontario and Quebec listeners that are frustrated, please voice your opinion. Contact your school boards. Contact every union rep that is protecting the teachers and the mandates, okay? And let them know how pissed you are, okay? Now, I've tried the remote learning before with other courses I've done a few months back, and honestly, I was not impressed. It's one thing to sit here and put together a podcast and to formulate my show and get this on the go, and that's fine. But in order for me to sit here 8 hours out of the day and try to retain and to learn and do all this stuff, it gets overwhelming. I get bored. Honestly, I have to get up and do something. I have to get up and read something else or do something else or actually handwrite something else. Right. And by the way, I'm teaching myself again how to write cursive. I was taught as a child, but because of, thumbs and typing, it gets a little more difficult. That's where the grammatical errors come in and all that. So I'm teaching myself again, proper sentence structure and what have you. And it's surprised how some of us have lost it over the years, ladies and gentlemen, because of this wonderful device we call the internet. Right. But needless to say, and just keep our gears lubed up, and we're good to go. But carrying on again, too, with 2022 being more fear. Now, I came across an interesting article from the Toronto Sun from Laurie Goldstein. Apparently, a CBC executive, and I'll share this with you here, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, a CBC executive has left, or not an executive, but an actual journalist and producer has left the CBC. And I'll read this along with you there, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't mind me doing so. So, former CBC journalist lowers the boom on its radical agenda. And this comes from today and yesterday, partially. So, Miss Tara Henley, a veteran CBC journalist who worked as a TV and radio producer and occasional on-air commentator, said Monday she quit the state-funded broadcaster last month because of its radical political agenda made it impossible to do good journalism. Right. In a column posted to social media, speaking freely, why I resigned from the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, Tara Henley, who joined the the public broadcast in 2013, said working here today is to embrace cognitive dissidence and to abandon journalistic integrity, and is to consent to the idea that a growing list of subjects are off the table, that dialogue itself can be harmful, that the big issues of our time are already settled. I see. Right. It's to capitulate to certainty, to shut down critical thinking, to stamp out curiosity, to keep one's mouth shut, not to ask questions, to rock the boat. How could good journalism possibly be done under such conditions? How can any of this possibly be healthy for society? It has allowed sweeping societal changes like lockdowns, vaccine mandates, and school closures to roll out with little debate, to see billionaires amass extraordinary wealth and bureaucrats amass enormous power with little scrutiny, and to watch the most vulnerable among us die of drug overdoses with little comment. Just pretend that the woke worldview is near universal, even if it's far from popular with those you know, speak to, and interview and read. Henley said the national public broadcaster is besieged by a journalistic culture obsessed with race and identity politics. And I think I've mentioned that before to you all, ladies and gentlemen. Too much race baiting, too much worrying about quotas rather than actually quality of work. Right. In her newsroom, she said CBC employees had to racially profile who they booked for on-air appearances and actively book more people of some races and less of others. While on job interviews, the CBC's concerns were not about qualifications and experience, but adherence to progressive orthodoxy. Responding to the column, Chuck Thompson, head of public affairs for CBC Services, said, "We respectfully disagree with Ms. Henley's perspective on what happens in our newsrooms right across the service. We welcome and encourage all points of view to ensure the public broadcaster is relevant to an ever-changing Canada. And that's not just a priority, it's our responsibility." Can you smell bullshit? I don't know about you. Henley's complaints about the CBC have been made by conservative critics for decades. What's the difference is a former CBC employee who says she's on the political left is saying it. Asking, for example, why exactly taxpayers should be funding articles that scold Canadians for using words such as brainstorm and lame, or criticizing comedian Dave Chappelle's Netflix special, which has been attacked by critics as transphobic while failing to include any of the legion of his fans or comics that did not find it offensive. I thought that show was fucking phenomenal. I thought it was great. Dave Chappelle is a class act as far as I'm concerned, ladies and gentlemen. Many CBC critics will not agree with Henley's argument that when she joined in 2013, the network produced some of the best journalism in the country, and only recently has gone from being a trusted source of news to churning out clickbait that reads like a parody for the student press. Many would agree that the CBC has been biased in favor of the federal Liberals for decades. Right. So I'll leave a link to her work there, ladies and gentlemen, for you guys to watch and listen to and read to at your own leisure. But when you read something like that, it's kind of self-explanatory. Right? It's self-explanatory because you've heard me ramble on about my libertarian beliefs and classical liberal beliefs. Okay. I have nothing against anyone who identifies as a true and through liberal. Okay. But you know as well as I do, ladies and gentlemen, that in this day and age, and I would say since 2016, since the Liberals got in, since 2015, correction, okay, the media has always favored the liberal mandates and the mantras and the woke mandates and the woke mantras, okay? You keep going woke, folks, you're going to go broke. It's that simple, okay? And it's safe to assume that majority of us Canucks, okay, we were raised in households where we don't judge people on the color of their skin or worry about their genders or who they sleep with. We worry about the quality of work they're going to promote, quality of service they're going to give if we want to buy something or if we want to work for somebody or if somebody wants to work for us. It's the give and take. It's simple. And yet it gets so bloody hard because so many individuals constantly want to play this whole victim card. Enough of this bullshit already.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And just a reminder too, ladies and gentlemen, if you like and hear what you see, please click like, subscribe, and share this all around your social media platforms. And if you want to send me an email, just look at the bottom of the screen there, crustybcanuck67@gmail.com. Send me a comment too. Send me some praise. Send me some hate mail. I don't care. I'll read it here in my next show if I get enough emails worth reading. So please don't hesitate to reach out and give me a shout or two. I don't mind. Right. And, like I say, please don't forget to click like, subscribe, and comment too at your leisure. Help the algorithm going. Help us independent folk get the words out there too. And I also load my videos and podcasts on Rumble, Brighton, and Wimkin too. So if you don't trust the big folks at YT, by all means, check me out, Rumble, Brighton, and Wimkin today too. Anyway, carrying on with more of this journalist leaving CBC, and good for her. Honestly, good for her. Okay. I stopped watching the CBC a very, very long time ago, not because of the whole woke mantras or because of all of this fear mongering they keep producing. And CTV is bad for it too, ladies and gentlemen. The big three in our country, you got Global, CTV, CBC. They're all doing the exact same bloody thing, promoting this, promoting that, more division, right? And I have never seen in the history of my country, okay, in my life, in my personal history, in my life, such division in regards to what's going on here with this, the C-19, with the whole beer bug. Okay. Yes, we all acknowledge it's real. We're not denying that. We're all acknowledging there's people with rest conditions get affected or infected, and then their chance of survival is pretty low. But in the same sense, too, we got to stop incorporating fear. And I've said this before in my show. There's countless others who've said it in their shows and their podcasts and their blogs too. Okay. We got to stop worrying about it. We got to start holding these individuals in question. From our political leaders, doesn't matter if it's provincial or municipal or federal for that matter, ladies and gentlemen. It's that simple. Okay. Now, where I work now, I work with a bunch of great people. We have our protocols when it comes to people getting sick. Now, during the Christmas time, I was actually had a nasty cold I was trying to fight. That lasted me about 4 days, but with the concoction of NyQuil and certain Advils and lots of juice and fluids, I managed to fight it. Now, you can probably hear the scratch in my voice. My throat isn't sore, so I don't have the whole,
Omicron variant.
No, I don't have that. I'm good to go. But no, I was just fighting a nasty cold because we had some record temperatures in my area here too, some record lows. So from coming into the hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold all the time, it wreaks havoc on your system. Now, my wife got sick too. Luckily, she was tested. She tested negative. She was good to go. I didn't get tested because I know I don't have it. I'm good to go. My own confidence. She went and got it for her peace of mind. That's fine. It's about your own personal choice and your own intestinal fortitude to find the truth and find the answers. Okay. If you feel that you're sick, hey, go get tested. If you feel that you're not sick, hey, don't bother. Let's not worry about the hype and what the status quo is telling you to think. You think for yourself and do the best of your ability with what you got. Okay. This past couple of weeks have been a real revelation too when it comes to how the protocols are working. And I'm lucky that I work with people that are not going to be jumping down your throat every time you get a sniffle, or if you hack up a loogie when you're coughing or something. They're just down to earth, realistic people. And I'm blessed to be working with such a great bunch of guys and gals. So anyway, to sum that up. Anyway, carrying on too, Mr. Trudeau has also been caught saying something really, really stupid in regards to the whole issue in regards to shots and what have you. And to my French speakers out there, This comes from the Western Standard, basically an offshoot of Maclean's. But I've actually had some emails with some of these individuals, and they're good people. This is what Mr. Trudeau said on La Quebec television in regards to people that are not willing, to get the third shot. I'll let you decide. Let me give it a sec here. Cue this up. More or less, he's calling everyone racist who doesn't want to do it. Typical liberal, new liberal mantra. Oh, if you don't do this, you're a racist. Oh, if you don't do this, you're a misogynist. Oh my God, you're a transphobe. Oh my God, you're such an evil person. How dare you think for yourself? That's not allowed anymore. Oh God. But like I said to my French speakers out there, please take a listen to the dialogue. And when he says, and I'll read the story there a bit later, but shall let you guys listen at first to see what this butt clown likes to promote. So make sure the volume's up there for you. So.
Puis on en connaît tous des gens qui sont en train d'hésiter un petit peu. On va continuer d'essayer de les convaincre. Mais il y a aussi des gens qui sont farouchement opposés à la vaccination.
What a schmuck.
Qui ne croient pas dans la science, qui sont souvent misogynes, souvent racistes aussi. C'est un petit groupe, mais qui prend de la place. Et là, il faut faire un choix en tant que leader, en tant que pays. Est-ce qu'on tolère ces gens-là ou est-ce qu'on dit, voyons, la plupart des gens, presque 80% des Québécois ont fait ce qu'il fallait faire, se sont fait vacciner, on veut revenir aux choses qu'on aime faire. C'est pas ces gens-là qui vont nous bloquer. Maintenant, on est dans une...
Yeah, interesting little story there, right? It comes from the Western Standard, good people there. I'll leave a link in the description as always, but Trudeau calls the unvaccinated racist and misogynistic extremists. Oh my goodness. But he said the people of Quebec are not the problem and questioned whether the rest of Canada needs to tolerate the unvaccinated. Okay. That itself, it is such a terrible thing to frickin' say. All right. Considering Quebec's issues with Bill 21, where that poor teacher was actually fired because she was wearing her hijab. Okay. I just said earlier in the show that I'm not going to persecute or prosecute anybody who has their religious beliefs. And as far as I know, that teacher was not preaching any kind of Muslim gospel or any kind of gospel. She was just teaching kids how to read and write, as any teacher should. Okay. So obviously we can see by that headline how Mr. Trudeau favors la Belle Province over the rest of the country. Right? He's been doing it ever since he got elected. Let's cancel the pipeline because a handful of Quebecers don't want it. They'd rather buy $10 Saudi oil rather than actually good Canadian oil. But I digress. Carrying on, Trudeau calls the unvaccinated racist and misogynistic extremists. But of course, he loves his province of Quebec. Prime Minister Trudeau told the Quebec television station people who do not get vaccinated against COVID-19 are often racist and misogynistic extremists. Okay. But he said the people of Quebec are not the problem and questioned whether the rest of Canada needs to tolerate the unvaccinated. His comments prompted People's Party of Canada leader Maxime Bernier to call Trudeau a fascist psychopath. And I think I might agree just a little bit with Max there too. Trudeau also called the unvaccinated Canadians science deniers. We're going to end this pandemic by proceeding with vaccination, said Trudeau in French. We all know the people that are deciding whether or not they're willing to get vaccinated, and we will do our very best to try to convince them. However, there is still a part of the population that is fiercely against it. They don't believe in science, progress, and are very often misogynistic and racist. It's a very small group of people that doesn't shy away from the fact that they take up some space. Oh my goodness. The sheer arrogance in that statement, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Yeah. This leads us as a leader and as a country to make a choice. Do we tolerate these people? Over 80% of the population of Quebec have done their duty by getting the shot. They are obviously not the issue in this situation. In Quebec, 84.5% of residents have received at least one COVID vaccination. A total of 14,900,242 jabs have been given out. Across Canada, 90% of the people aged 12 and over have received one dose. A total of 87% have received two jabs. In Alberta, it's 90% of the people with one jab and 85% with two. Federal COVID-19 stats show BC has vaccinated 84% of residents with one dose and 79% with two. Saskatchewan has 80% with one dose, 72% with two, and Manitoba has 81.4% with one dose, 75% with two. Great. So when you're looking at the average 20% or more of people that have not had their jab or their one jab or two jabs are playing it safe and cool. And here's this ass clown that was elected again to call the shots, no pun intended, for the rest of this country. Okay, so thank you to the people at Western Standard. And once again, thank you to the people at Toronto Sun for sharing their articles or allowing me to share their articles. But I think you see my point there, ladies and gentlemen, that we're still digging in the darkness. Okay. Here's the prime minister of one of the best countries on the planet, if not the best country on the planet, calling people without their vaccines misogynists and racist. How is that promoting misogyny? How is that promoting racism for people that refuse to do anything to their bodies? Okay. Now, am I a bigot because I smoke cigarettes, ladies and gentlemen? Am I a bigot if I drink a beer? Am I a misogynist if I have a glass of rye and ginger ale? Right? When I come home from work and I make dinner for my wife and I, does that make me the misogynistic patriarchal pig that a lot of campuses like to promote right now? To my French speakers, please translate that the best of your ability and take it for what it is. Okay. I know a bit of French, taking a few words, and yeah, he's calling people that think for themselves, people that want to make sound decisions and choices with their bodies, misogynists and racists, right? So everyone who hasn't been vaccinated is either a misogynist or a racist. Did you take into consideration how many women have chosen not to do that? How many nurses have chosen not to get the vaccination? How many actual medical doctors, and it doesn't matter if they're male or female, have said no to the vaccination too? Has he put that in consideration? No, of course not, because it's all fucking brownie points to him. Yeah, what a putz.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
It just goes to show that he's digging himself deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Now, I'm a bit of a fan of the show Question Period, and I managed to watch it this past Sunday. And of course, their panel of experts that always get on there, this journalist or that journalist. I'm just going to summarize it. Basically, they feel that Trudeau is going to be stepping down, or, there's going to be a non-confidence vote probably in the next 6 months. So if that's the case, next 6 months, yours truly be running again under the Veterans Coalition Party. But until that time happens, I plead to you, my audience out there, and fans of the show, fans of the podcast, that we start asking the tougher questions again. Call your MP, call your MLA, call your MPP, to my Ontario listeners out there, and demand answers, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Because I'm a firm believer that I don't want to see things get to blows. I don't want to see violence in the streets. I don't want to see any kind of riots that our friends in the United States had to go through. I don't want to see businesses destroyed. I don't want to see businesses vandalized. I want to see people thrive again. And we can still thrive with this issue, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, regardless of what wave is constantly being promoted, regardless of how much fear they want to instill in people. Like I just read you the article from Miss Hunley there, the lady who left the CBC. She is seeing reports and seeing what these newsmakers and breakers are doing to you. They're lying. And regardless of where she sits in the political fence or not, the fact is that she opened up and she said something based on integrity and honesty, just like what Miss Jody Wilson-Raybould did when she stood up against that little twerp and said, no, fuck you. I'm not going to say this or say that because it's wrong. And good for her. And good for Tara, too, for standing up on her scruples, regardless of where she sits in the political fence. Because we all remember what happened with Wendy Mesley, because she was quoted saying something during a briefing or a meeting. I think it was the N-word was dropped or something like that, and they had her fired immediately because I think she used it as an example. It was something that was taken out of context. But needless to say, it wasn't like she said it publicly or pointed a finger at someone and said it. I think she was reading something. I'm not exactly sure. But it was basically all hype and all bullshit for this woke mandate. Okay. I've always believed that you hire people based on merit and integrity and qualifications, regardless of the color of their skin, regardless of their gender or who they sleep with or what they believe in. If person A happens to be from Jamaica and he or she has these qualifications that will help with your business or help with your factory or help with your broadcasting or help with this, then I guess they're good as hired. But if you're going to hire person A just because they're from Jamaica or just because they're from Japan or because they represent this or represent that, you're not doing anybody a favor. And why should I explain? Why should I explain it? If I hire someone to drive a truck for me, I want that individual to be qualified to drive said truck. If I'm going to hire someone to operate a chainsaw for me, I want that individual to know what he or she is doing when it comes to using that chainsaw. If I'm going to hire someone to shovel snow, you want that individual to have, a decent strong back and some upper body strength so they can shovel the snow. You know what I'm saying? And it's not prejudice, it's not racist to look for that. It's just common bloody sense. And somewhere, the powers that be quit fucking denying it.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you hear and like what you see, please click like, subscribe, and comment. And please share this all around your social media platforms, especially some of my newest viewers there on YouTube that I'm finding. And I'm thankful. Thank you all very much for some of the kind and warm comments that I have received from all of you too the past couple of weeks too. I'm getting some comments on my older videos. So thank you all. Give yourself a round of clap right there for that one. Okay? Kick ass. Thank you very much for the warm and kind responses I've been receiving. But please click like, share this all around too. The more you share it, the bigger it gets. More people get to see it and read it and hear for themselves, and they can decide what to do. But once again, thank you all who have tuned in and have shared my work, but keep sharing it too. And if you get a chance, please check out my shop at Customized Girl. I've updated a bit. I got rid of some merchandise that just wasn't really selling, what have you. But just check the link at the scrolling at the bottom there. And the link, all my links will be in my description too. So if you don't catch it on the video, on the live stream, or on the debut, you can always check my description out. It's all there. I got t-shirts, got hats, got mugs, got drinking flasks. I got shorts, got swimsuits. So I'm working on trying to get a deal through Customized Girl to get 15% or more off for some lucky customers that they want. So please check out my shop if you can too. Every little bit helps too. And if you do feel like donating, please donate. Links are in the description as well too, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to make this a full-time commitment, right? But it takes viewers and fans such as yourself to make that happen. So if you want to donate $5, $10 a month at any one of my pay sites, please do. I'm roughly about 8,000 plus now on the YouTube. If half of those individuals were, let's say, chip in $1 or $2 a month, wow, I'd be on my way to actually making some really good videos, some more commentary. I'll get out in public and all that good stuff and talk with people because I'd be earning a living doing that. So, but it's because of viewers like you I have so far that I'm very, very grateful and I'm very, very thankful. So please consider donating today at CrustyCanuck.ca too. And check me out there on Supercast as well. No censorship, no BS. Check me out there as well. And like I said, you want to send me an email, send me a comment or two, or a point, proof, explanation, whatever you want. Hate mail, by all means, send me an email and I will gladly read it on the show. We can have a little banter if you want, or just whatever. Anyway, carry on again too. More of this 2022, another year of fear, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it is. More fear for another happy new year? Not quite. More fear for another year. Pretty self-explanatory. I, for one, I'm not going to live in fear. I don't want to. And neither should you. You know, I'm thankful that I'm employed and I'm thankful that bills are getting paid. I'm thankful that I'm not in debt. You know, I'm still a little peeved that a good chunk of my savings, well, quite a bit of my savings had to go to keeping things going during my unemployment. But it also gave me insight too on how some employers, especially some of the companies out there, especially out here in Western Canada, that are afraid to speak their effing minds. And They try to disenfranchise and discourage their own employees from speaking their minds too. That's one of the reasons I was let go from a job I had back in the summer. Okay. And I will say this right now. Some of those coworkers I was with, I'm not naming any names. I'm not going to do that. But you lads know who you are. Okay. You have as much courage as a fart. You're all big and stinky, then you disappear when something needs to get done. Okay. And from someone who spent some time in the military and trained in leadership and overcome some odds and slayed some demons, I find your actions cowardice. Okay. And it will come back and bite you in the ass. I fucking guarantee it. Okay. So if those individuals are watching and listening right now, you know who you are. And that includes that one store I worked at. It also includes the little base conglomerate I worked at too. Okay. And you're going to have to learn too how to differentiate from a difference of opinion to being unsafe. Okay. If you're working in a job site that requires you to wear a hard hat and steel toe boots, and you're at said job site without a hard hat and steel toe boots, you are being unsafe. If you're in the workplace environment and someone has an opinion that you disagree with or don't like, okay, that is not an unsafe situation. That is just a difference of opinion. Okay. So the more and more some of you folk out there learn the difference from what I just said, then you might get along. That way you won't feel so bloody insecure and feel so unsafe because of words you don't want to hear. Time to grow up, folks. That's the thing too. New year, great. Same old mandates. Take responsibility for your shit. Own your shit. Okay. You hear something you don't like from somebody. One, you can either exchange some healthy dialogue with that person or just ignore it and not fucking worry about it. But if you're going to walk around and be offended and scared all the time, then you're really not growing up, are you? I guess you're used to having someone wipe your butt for you. Is that it? And wipe your nose, wipe your chin if you spill some sauce, or tend to bite a little too much on your boyfriend's butt.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
Something to think about there, ladies and gentlemen. Part of my little rant there, but I'm just getting a little emotional. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? My thing, and I want you to do your thing. I want you to go out and I want you to be prosperous. I want you to be happy. I want you to love your family, love your wife, love your girlfriend, love your boyfriend, or however they identify. Love yourself too. Take some time out to love yourself a bit. Okay? It doesn't matter if you smoke a cigarette. Doesn't matter if you want to smoke a joint. Doesn't matter if you want a glass of whiskey, a beer, grape juice. I don't care. Do it well, to the best of your ability. Because the freedom starts with you, ladies and gentlemen. Starts with all of us. Question the status quo. And there's ways you can do it to be tactful and kind and considerate, yes. And then when someone keeps pushing the buttons the wrong way, then you fucking let them have it. Fucking give it to them, right? Sorry, I don't mean give it to them as, the old 1-2 cry chop or the 5-knuckle sandwich. But I think you catch my drift, ladies and gentlemen. Right. So the next 10 days, again, I'll be working steadily. So I will not be having an episode up and running. As I say, my work schedule takes me away from a lot of this, my beautiful audience. And I was going to have a live stream, but time just didn't permit. So probably the next 10 days, I'll work and get another live stream, go another Q&A. So all you Crusty Canuck fans and inquisitors alike can check me out, say hello, ask me a question, whatever you want. You keep it clean, though, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll get that up and running. Hopefully, in the next little while, I'm going to try to get some more interviews in the works too, with some more key figures out there as well. I miss doing the Thursday fastball. The panel that joined me, they're all busy in their own lives and getting things on the go, but I'm still in touch with them via Signal and Telegram. Maybe someday we might collab on something. I don't know. But in the meantime, once again, Mr. Mezei, my sincerest condolences to your loss, and I hope all's work out. And if you want to give me a call, please do. I don't mind. My phone's open. If you want to talk, let me know. And to my other friends out there, too, keep on trucking, keep fighting the good fight. Like I say, if you like to hear what you see, please click like and subscribe, everybody. Get the algorithm going. Share this around all your social media platforms. I don't care where you dwell, where you lay your hat. By all means, share this all around. Let people out there decide, click like, subscribe, the whole fandango per se. But the Crusty Canuck podcast is still going to have a bright future. I'm still going to do the show. I'm still going to make episodes to the best of my ability when I can in a timely manner. Like I said, this holiday weekend has been a bit iffy for me. I just wanted to relax and chill out with my wife, not worry about anything, because I'm back at work tomorrow. So I won't be as available as I should be for the next 10 days. Based on my schedule is this: I work 10 days on and I get 4 days off. So that's a pretty good trade, and it's decent pay too. And I can't complain, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, it's good, solid work, and I'm happy doing it. But like I said, I like to make this a full-time commitment too. So if you feel like donating, please donate. Links will be in the description. Donate what you can at your leisure. But it takes viewers such as yourself to make that happen. So please spread the word around and all that too. And all I can say about the articles I read is that we're starting to see some light. We're starting to see some truth finally surface. And we might see that overwhelming mecca of common sense and prevalence. And actually start breathing fucking clearer again without all the dogma and bullshit that's being constantly tossed down our throats. But all I can say is we got to keep trucking, do what we can. Like I said, at Christmas time, do what we can to help each other out, right? Happy New Year to those that I've missed. I don't want to sound like a real bummer, but based on the local media and the mainstream media, we're getting constantly bombarded with more fear. Let's not live in fear, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Let's encourage the small businesses. Let's encourage the arenas. Let's encourage kids to get out there and learn. Let's encourage ourselves to get out there and learn to the best of our ability. Okay. It's that simple. I don't know how else to say it. That would sound like a broken record over and over again. Right. But I'm going to do better. I intend to do better. My intentions are making a better podcast. But I need you, my viewers and listeners out there, to back that up too. Because without you guys, I am nothing. So, as I say again, give yourselves a round of applause. Because you, my listeners, my friends out there, you're the ones that count. And I'm very, very grateful that I've had some good positive feedback and some good responses the past little while. So you keep doing your thing and keep backing up the little guys out there too. No polar vortex of bullshit this time around. I've already put on Justin Trudeau, so I guess he'll be a candidate for the
Canadian polar vortex of bullshit.
Exactly. As far as I'm concerned, he's held that position very well for a very, very long time. But next episode, I'll make sure I get a proper Canadian polar vortex of bullshit recipient up for you all too. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, do what we can to help each other out in these trying effing times. Especially people in my area too. We're dealing with minus 25 to minus 35 Celsius. I don't know the math right now to my American listeners, but it's bloody cold enough. So get out, make sure your vehicles are plugged in, start yourself up a bit earlier in the morning just to beat that morning rush and to meet any kind of catastrophe head on so it doesn't happen. Right. But like I say, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 4th of January, 2022. And I want to wish you all the best for a great new year and all that. And hopefully the next couple of weeks, another episode up and running. But please pay attention to my community page on YouTube and my Facebook page too for updates as well. When I get a moment or two to keep you updated, that's where I usually post, ladies and gentlemen. So better off checking my Facebook page for updates too. And I'm adding more stuff to Instagram as well, so you can find me on the Instagram page. And I'm going to try to put episodes up there too, so my Instagram fans and followers can check it out at their own leisure as well, ladies and gentlemen. So, but like I say, if you feel like donating, please donate, crustycanuck.ca, or any of the links in my description. Donate what you can. Help me along my way. Help me make this podcast even better. And hopefully one day making it a full-time commitment so I'd get some more crazy content out there for you all. But like I always say, ladies and gentlemen, do what you can to help each other out in these trying times. I know it's tough. It's difficult. It's been difficult for me, for my wife, some family members, but we're moving along. And do what you can to help your neighbors out too. Shovel a bit of snow. Maybe offer a cup of coffee. Help some seniors out too with a few extra dollars, a few extra groceries. And I know Christmas was tough on some people too, so maybe help some people make their ends meet, per se. Maybe add some more groceries to their fridge, or maybe help them with a bill or something. Just little acts of kindness, little gestures like that too. It goes a long way, and you'll be better for it. But like I say, folks, do what you can to help each other in these trying times. Love your loved ones, hug your loved ones, and love yourselves a bit too. Okay. Don't be so hard on yourselves this time around. I've caught myself doing that, and I have to give my head a shake. And I'm lucky that my circle of people have given me that incentive, and I'm grateful every day, ladies and gentlemen. So don't hesitate to love yourself a bit as well. All right. Like I say, ladies and gentlemen, do what you can to help each other out in these trying times, and always remember, humanity and merit wins the day. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
This has been another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay sane and thank you for listening. From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast.
Well, smack my ass and call me Judy. Well, smack my ass and call me Judy.